We are driving through the beautiful Cotswolds of England, heading for the village of Lacock. During the Middle Ages, it was important for raising sheep and processing, storing, and selling wool. These old buildings have not changed very much since that time. Production of wool ended in the 19th century, depriving the village of its main source of income, which fortunately for us has kept new developments to a minimum, resulting in this historic treasure. Lacock dates from the 13th century and is full of traditional half-timbered and stone houses. It's the quintessential English village. You'll see it is easy and rewarding to take a short walk through this small village, which we will do taking the route shown on the map. The entire distance walking around the village center is just 800 meters, ending up back where you began. The village has been used repeatedly as a film and television location because of its historic and unspoiled appearance, most notably for the BBC production of Pride and Prejudice, and it was used for scenes in the Downton Abbey TV series and also the movie. The quaint cottages and historic streets also made it perfect for brief appearances in several Harry Potter films and Disney's Beauty and the Beast. Lacock has 3 pubs and a number of shops in its high street, including a grocery store, bakery, gift shops, and a National Trust shop. Sign of the Angel is a late 15th century house which is now an inn, including a pub, restaurant, and rooms for rent. By virtue of its unspoiled appearance, Lacock attracts many visitors, so you might want to get here early in the day or in the off-season. I was visiting on a day trip from the city of Bath on a tour with a company called Mad Max, which was very convenient. They drove us from one town to the next, and the guide walked us through the village, explaining about the history. Our guide described how they've preserved this old-fashioned character.
No TV aerials, there's no satellite dishes, everything, all utilities run underground.
The central group of 4 streets follows the pattern of a medieval planned community, deliberately laid out on a grid which can still be seen today. On the eastern end of Church Street, we reach the wonderful 14th century medieval church of St. Cyriac, who was a Norman saint. And then with Lacock thriving as a prosperous market town, a more extensive rebuild happened in the 15th century, which created this perpendicular style Gothic church, which has been maintained and utilized ever since. Just next to it is a workhouse built in 1833 that was a tannery until it closed in 1928, and now it's part of a pottery bed and breakfast. The drying shed survives on the right. It was a place to dry bark, which was used in the tanning process. Bark contains tannins, and it was stripped from trees and then dried before being ground into a powder. One of the important landmarks you'll come across is this 14th century Tithe barn, which is a Grade 1 listed historic property. In the Middle Ages, farmers were required to give 1/10 or a tithe of their wool and produce to the established church. Independent farmers took their tithes here to store their payments. The George Inn claims to be the oldest pub in town, in a 14th century building with excellent pub grub and rooms for rent, including free Wi-Fi. The lounge has a medieval fireplace, and out back there's a stone courtyard cafe. By the 19th century, the entire village was owned by Henry Fox Talbot, an early pioneer of photography who invented the negative-positive photographic process. Ownership of the village was passed down through Talbot's family, which later donated everything to the National Trust in 1944, and the village is now owned almost entirely by the National Trust. Lacock's primary school looks from the outside just like it did when first built in 1824 by Henry Fox Talbot. Having walked around the little village, we find ourselves back where we started by the Red Lion Inn, a nice place for refreshments in their garden terrace cafe. The Red Lion is also a small hotel with 5 double rooms, in a building dating back 200 years with a Georgian interior, packed with a charming character. Lacock is in the county of Wiltshire in the Cotswolds. It's about 3 miles south of the town of Chippenham. There is no train service to Lacock, but you can go from London to Chippenham by train in 75 minutes, and then take a 15-minute public bus ride from there into Lacock. The bus stop in the village is by the George Inn. Bus frequencies are about once per hour, every day, except never on a Sunday. That's all for now, but we have other movies about villages in the Cotswolds, including a film about Castle Combe, Malmesbury, Highbury, Stow-on-Wold, Slaughter, Bourton-on-the-Water, Cheltenham, and Tetbury. Look for them in our collection. We frequently upload new movies, so please subscribe to our channel and click that little alarm bell so you'll be notified. And if you enjoyed the movie, how about a thumbs up? And we always welcome comments down below. Or if you have questions about the destination, make note and we'll answer them. Thanks for watching.